Hey guys, so I just launched campaign what I'm called breads and loaves. Okay, so basically what it is so it's February 29th, 2024. Right now in my bank account there's like zero. I think I have like $100 that I got from some seed money from somebody I had been working with. So the goal is I'm going to see how much I can turn this $100 using $50 of ads on X and $50 of ads on TikTok, and see what I can do to turn that in a day. My goal today with some work is I'm trying to make $30,000 today. I know that might seem really ambitious because it's like, how does he have $100 and how does he expect to make $3,000, $30,000? Well, the math's really quite simple. So I need to get 21 people to get my Pro-lit-fic Lightspeed Engine program, and that's 4 people as well into the normal 7 steps course. So if I can get 25 people to buy today, it's 25 people, I can achieve my goal. So the goal is I need to now get 25 people to sign up and buy my course. Now, I've been talking with a bunch of people who I've worked with before in the past, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty frustrated because it's crazy. Like, one of the things I'm definitely feeling like a shift in my life from the old me to the new me is I'm starting to realize like a lot of the old people I attracted before, they're just not compatible with the life that I'm building for myself. And even like as I try to offer things to them and it's literally exactly what they want, everyone's got all these reasons and these excuses, and there's no level of examination or like analytical mind. And now I'm starting to realize like, oh, that's why these guys are stuck, because it's not about the options, it's literally the way they think. And I started realizing when I started thinking a new way, I'm realizing I can't get people who think the old way to think my way. I can't do that anymore. I have to find people who think or who understand the way I think and go with them, which is frustrating and sad because I'm realizing like in my old life, I was with a bunch of people who live within limitations, and that's why so many of them are incompatible with my future. Even as I'm talking to them, reaching out, trying to share stuff. And what's sad is that when it grows and it begins to get results, then they'll try to come in and they'll be able to come in, but it's like, guys, your coming in now doesn't help that, because they're doing it because it's the same pattern of thinking. It's not coming from this ability to create in the future and work on it. They're just jumping on the next thing. So of course I'll be able to get powerful, grow what I need, but they'll never be able to actually make the strides they make because they're always fundamentally operating from this place of effect then cause. They're always working backwards. They're always waiting for something to happen to see a result, then they'll jump on board. When it's like, no, that's not how you grow. That's not how you expand. You expand by creating an effect, by creating something and then seeing what happens and then building on that creative capacity. And I'm just realizing like there's a lot of people where I was like, oh yeah, let's do this. They're like, oh, I'm so busy, I got all these different things. And I'm like, this is literally the thing you've been asking for. We sat down, we talked about it. You said you wanted to know how this thing worked, how to do this. And it's really because they don't believe in themselves. They think it's like, oh, I don't believe in him, I don't know what he's doing. No, you don't believe in yourself. That's really what it is. And I'm just starting to see like how prevalent that type of idea making is, and it's been frustrating. So I'm realizing more and more I'm going to have to meet strangers, people who don't know me, and people who are willing and need a fresh set of eyes. So I've got to find basically 25 strangers today using the internet, and I've got to see if they're qualified, and I have to get them into the course and through the webinar. And the idea is if I can find a way to do that substantially, I should be able to get them to watch the course, have them jump in, and then they'll just purchase it. If I've done the webinar correctly, if I've set it up, if I've created the buy options correctly, if it's operating well from the video, that should be able to convert. So I just need to get them in the funnel. So I need to get 25 people in that funnel. That's it. So I've broken that down. So it's just finding that first person, getting that first person and getting the dominoes to fall. And so I need 20 people to get that $1,300, 7 people, any combination, because I'm shooting for $30,000 today. So that's what I'm going to do. So basically I'll be sitting down and doing that. And I gotta say, it was really refreshing to meet some new faces yesterday and have some phone calls and just meet just some good friends this morning. It was really good. I had some old friends come to me. They'd messaged me, and one friend was like, oh, why didn't you tell me when I was in Utah? And it was interesting, while I was on the phone call with her, she started like goofing off and she wasn't paying attention. And I started getting like very like short with her. And I was like, listen, like don't call me if you're not gonna pay attention. And like I don't wanna talk on the phone if you're not gonna pay attention. And so I got off, and I'm just starting to realize just like, I realize like I don't think I'm demanding, but I've realized I have very high expectations. And I think some people think that's demanding, but it's like, no, it just means that I'm not going to make you do something, but I'm not going to partake in an experience where I don't feel like I'm prioritized or like I'm being valued in the same way I'm valuing you. And I'm just realizing how many relationships I'd had before where like had settled for a lack of presence, a lack of focus, a lack of commitment. Like I was just always allowing lack into my life. And especially now that I feel like I have abundance, I'm working really hard and loving my life, and everything is just really lined up and feeling awesome. When I start interacting with people who aren't like that, it's like very aversive to me, because it just feels really intense, and not intense in terms of like my disgust, but it's not, the word's not disgust, but I just feel this deep aversion for it. Like I'll just be around them and they'll be talking about their problems, or they'll be unfocused, and there's just like this level of just disharmony in the way they think and the way they talk, and it's constant all over the place. And it's like the more and more as I've worked for harmony in myself, because remember, I spend 5 hours, I wake up at 7, I spend 5 hours reading, meditating, studying, just focusing on myself. I've done that every single day for the last 4 or 5 months, right? And this is just getting started, right? And I spend that much time meditating, focusing, really going inward. And so as I do that, and with people who don't, I just start realizing how much is in disharmony all the time. Like there's so much discordance people allow and are okay with. And a part of me is like, okay, well, do you want to talk about that? And when you try to bring awareness to that, you're being intense. And then it's like, you know what? I don't want to have this argument or this conversation anymore, because I just don't want to feel like in order to be around you, I have to feel like you. I don't want to have to feel like, and it's not that I'm not willing to mourn with those that mourn or be upset with those who are in need of comfort, but there's some people who need comfort and need to mourn, and then there's some people who just don't want to like do the work. They want to be confused, they want to be lost, they want to continue to make excuses, they want to continue to be in the middle. They're like the glass salesman in The Alchemist, but he never lets the boy on. He just, continues not wanting to grow. And there's so many people like that. And I just realized like I don't want to be around people like that anymore. And I'm actually getting to the point where I realize I don't even want them in my group. So I'm kind of glad that some of the people like who are making these excuses are making them. So it's like, okay, well, I know you're not a fit. And then to me, it's like solving a problem before it's solving a problem before it becomes a problem, because I'm not here trying to drag anybody. And it's just funny how you'll tell some people about what's going on and you'll get them all excited, and then they'll just go right back to their shithole life and start doing the things. Like literally there's someone who I told them about my plan and that I was thinking of hiring them. They heard it, they were super excited about it. I bought them dinner. And then when I went to follow up with them, they sent me like a 1-word message, and they were like, oh yeah, that's cool. And then when I asked them about their future plans, they were just talking about their old mediocre plan. I was like, did you not hear what I just told you? And it's just so interesting how like you can tell people things and it's like they don't take you seriously. And then when it's after the fact, it's like, oh, they'll come to you and they'll be like, oh, is that still available? I'm like, no, because it was part of the process early on. I let you know early on, but now you're nowhere near qualified and this thing is going too fast. I remember when I joined a business group, I remember I started, shout out to Gianfranco and Leah Bottler especially, right? Because I remember they joined the exact same month I did. And I remember 2 years afterwards, they were making like 50, 70K a month in their businesses. And they'd gotten so far ahead of me. This was in Richard Yu's business course. And I remember that first month, I had made more than both of them. But I hadn't kept going. And so when I tried to get in the business group and things like that, they were already so outclassed and so far ahead of me. It's not that they wouldn't talk to me, but it's like they didn't have time because I wasn't on their level. And I remember that feeling of being left behind. And I realize now what that looks like on their end. And I've realized it's not when they arrived. I'm realizing they had already committed. Like, I thought I was committed then. I was committed, and I was probably committed more than like 90% of people are committed on things. That's what's so sad, is that I was more committed than probably most people are, but I still wasn't all the way in, which is why I was able to launch my business. I was able to make some money. I was able to do that, but I wasn't really fully aligned because now I am all in. And there's this level of certainty where it's like, I know this will work. I know it will work. It's going to work. It has to work. There's no other option but for it to work. And I'm going to throw myself off of this cliff because I set the goal. And if I don't, I'm just going to keep going until it works because that's how committed I am to it. And I'm realizing that all-in attitude, that's an arrival point. And that happens before I have the money. That happens before I have the glitz. That happens before I'm in the car. I still technically have $0 in my mouth. When this video comes out, though, I'm going to put this video out a week from now. I'll have the money. And then everybody will be like, oh my God, he's so amazing. But it's like, guys, I knew it was going to happen. It's not the surprise to me. I knew it was going to happen. So it's not this thing, like I've already celebrated it. I've already celebrated it. I've already talked about it with myself. I already know what I'm going to do with the money. I've already celebrated. I already know. I already know. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. I already know. I already know. Because I committed. Because I decide. I'm the decider. You are the decider of your life. If you don't have time, it's because you've decided you don't have time. If you bump over boards and you're clumsy, it's because you're clumsy. Okay, anyway. I'm just saying, you're the actor in your life. Stop waiting for somebody to come around and fix it. It's not broken. You just have to pick it up. And there's so many people who are just thinking like that, and it's just stop. The opportunity is right in front of you. So if you haven't realized, I'm talking about my course, jump in, because we're about a week into this, and it's an amazing course. I'm loving it. I'm about to film it right now, and it's gonna blow up, right? And you've probably seen the earlier videos and all this validation, but this was filmed back in the past when I had $0, well, $100 that I'm using for advertising. And then I was able to make that happen because I had the mindset, I had the know-how, and I had the will. And I will do this, right? As above, so below. So within, so without. Stay happy, stay healthy, and remember, stay calm. It's just a game.